This week is a special video for me. I am hopeful that it touches you and reminds you that life is precious and fragile. Most importantly, this video is for my kids and my nephew to let them know how wonderful their great-grandmother was. In Latin, memento mori means remember you will die. All things will pass away from this world. Genesis 3:19 says, dust you were, and dust you shall return. In this video, I want to share two things that I believe we should all do in order to honor and remember those that are no longer with us. The first thing is to remember them. Each of our stories are unique to us, and that they're beautiful in their own way in God's tapestry. It is important to recall all the memories, the joy, the times together. Tell their stories to your kids, to your spouse. Cry, laugh, but most of all, remember them. Number two is don't waste the gifts that were given to you. These people were very important in your life, and obviously they invested much in your life. They had a very profound impact on your life. The most important thing that you can do to honor them is not to waste your life, waste your time. Oddly enough, the name of this channel is Don't Waste Your Life. Almost as equally important is to pass on your gifts, your time, and your skills to others that are in need. As Mr. Rogers says, all of us, at one time or another, needed help. Whether we are giving or receiving the help, each one of us has something valuable to contribute to this world. That's one of the things that connects each one of us as neighbors in our own way. Each one of us is a giver and a receiver. On April 6th, 2020, the day that I most dreaded had finally come. My grandmother, Joan Stayskull, had passed away. Surrounded with family, with love, my grandfather was still holding her hand as she passed on from this world. Unfortunately, all this was happening during the coronavirus, and it was very difficult to be able to travel with a young child. At this point, Evan was still only 1 year old. This whole thing was completely unexpected, and I was heartbroken and shocked that I had lost my grandmother, who, like many of you have parents, she was like a parent to me. She had raised me, guided me, and nurtured me to be the person that I am today. Without my grandmother, and in particular her sacrifice, I would have never made it through college. Because unfortunately, my family was very poor. We didn't have the money to be able to afford college. And during that time, I was considering going in the military because we just couldn't afford it. My life would have been completely different than what it is now. And for this, I can only say one thing. Thank you. I am thankful for your love and sacrifice over the years, your caring, your guiding hand, even when I felt like I didn't need it. Maybe even especially when I felt like I didn't need it. I am also thankful that you got to meet Evan. I am thankful for God blessing you with so many wonderful great-grandchildren. I recall, Grandma, one of the last things that you said to me before you passed on, and it still sticks with me to this day, is that you said the next grandbaby that we would have would be a boy. I found it hard to believe, and now reflecting on it, it still gives me chills. As some of you may know, in 2021, Amanda and I were expecting our second baby, and unfortunately, we miscarried. So I believe that this baby that we were going to have was our wonderful baby Maya, our little girl. So, Grandma, I know that she's with you. I know Brooke is with you. I know my wonderful aunt that I never got to meet is with you. Shortly after we lost Maya, I remember Evan was looking up into the sky, seeming to see something that I could not see. I couldn't understand what he was seeing, but I could feel there was somebody there. I could feel that you were there. I'm convinced, Grandma, that you were there and that I couldn't see you, but Evan could see you. I would just ask that you please stop in once in a while to visit us. We miss you, we love you, and I think of you on a daily basis. My only regret in this whole thing is that I wish you could have seen Evan go to school. I know Grandpa told me that you're trying to hold on to make it to that point. I am sad that it wasn't meant to be, but I am happy to have had your love for all the years that I had. I am also thankful that Grandpa got to come down here to North Carolina to visit with Evan, Amanda, and I. It was just an absolute delight to be able to spend time with him, and I know he enjoyed the time too. These are what lives are made out of, these little moments that matter. I just have one favor to ask of you, Grandma, and that's when you talk to the big guy up there, can you tell him to give Grandpa peace? I know he misses you every day, but peace would be good. The other thing is, can we have Grandpa for a little while longer? I want him to see Evan and the kids, the grandkids, as long as he can. So please let us borrow him for a while. I know he misses you daily. He thinks of you daily. I promise you that we will keep an eye on him and try to keep him out of trouble. But knowing Grandpa being Grandpa with great grandkids, I feel like that's going to be hard. May you watch over us until we meet again. In times like this, when I struggle and I feel alone and lost, I reflect on Revelations 21:4, which is, He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for all these have passed away from the world. So Grandma, I just want you to know we love you and we miss of you.
Should have stayed, were the signs I ignored. Can I help you not to hurt anymore? We saw brilliance when the world was asleep. There are things that we can have but can't keep. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. The reminders pull the floor from your feet. In the kitchen, one more chair than you need. Oh, and you're angry, and you should be. It's not fair. Just 'cause you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I time runs out, if a moment is all we are, or quicker, who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. Well, I do.
Ama you.
Oh, I'll tell